This tutorial follows on from the first two where I demonstrated projects involving a simple purchase, renovate and hold for cash flow and growth, and also a project that involved a subdivision. Now let us look at a similar project, except this time we will include a subdivision of the land into 4 lots so that we can sell one of the newly created lots to pay down debt and construct 2 new townhouses on the remaining 2 lots. This project is the same as the sample project that is included on the USB stick that will be sent to you. All aspects of this project remain the same as the first and second projects, so please watch the earlier tutorials as a prerequisite. The information will not be repeated in this tutorial. As with the first 2 examples, I have already prepared a copy of the feasibility program with values that are appropriate for the project. When the program starts and displays the home screen, I will elect to remove the sections that are not required from the data entry screen. In this case, I will click on the Project Assessment button and the Affordability button and then go to the Data Entry Sheet by clicking on the Go to Shortened Data Entry Sheet button. When we move to the Data Entry Sheet, you will see that I have entered some information in respect of the property that I am planning to purchase, and all of this information is a repeat of the first 2 examples. The first change that needs to be made in this example is that we will now have 4 titles at the completion of the project. When we evaluate the potential income or profit from the project, we may want to look at different scenarios where we hold or sell different combinations of the completed dwellings. To make this task easier, we need to go to the information for hold properties on the data entry sheet. In this section we can elect to have all of the income and expenses for one property multiplied by the number of properties we have elected to hold. If the properties are totally dissimilar in nature, then this option is not viable and the values need to be modified manually. For the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to select this option. The selection of the GST BAS reporting can be either monthly or quarterly, and I have chosen GST Scheme B for this project. This scheme is the appropriate selection because we will be liable for GST on the sale of the new townhouses and the vacant land. We are purchasing from a non-registered seller and we will be applying the margin scheme on the sale. The information previously entered for the pre-purchase costs, purchase cost, operating information for hold properties, renovation costs and subdivision costs would need to be entered as per the first 2 examples. Some of the subdivision costs may be substantially higher and other costs may also be incurred because of the construction, and these need to be updated and included where appropriate. Now we have to enter the cost of construction, and we do that on the construction sheet. For the purposes of this example, I am going to use method 5 and select Melbourne as the location with a medium quality finish, a level block and average room sizes for a 3-bedroom townhouse on 2 levels. I have also entered the number of townhouses to be constructed as 2. At his stage I have no reason to alter the room sizes, so I will return to the construction section on the data entry sheet. First, we need to select method 5 from the drop-down list as the method of construction. I am also going to distribute the costs of construction over the construction period by percentage. I have also budgeted for the construction to take 6 months. As you can see, I have done this in the example. Also, as you will notice, I have distributed the costs by entering a percentage against each month of the construction. If the total distribution does not agree with the total construction for method 5, an error will be displayed as I will demonstrate, and the error will disappear when it is corrected. The next section, the project timeline plan, also needs to be updated to specify the timing of the additional tasks. In this example, that will be the section for the construction and sale of new dwellings. As you can see, I have entered a start time and duration for the town planning application to be the same as the values entered for the vacant lot. I have also entered the construction process to start immediately following the completion of the town planning application, and the duration is taken from the value I entered in the construction section. I have also entered a marketing period that overlaps the construction process on the assumption that I will try to sell the newly constructed dwellings before the construction process is complete, and I have entered a settlement period on the sale that follows on immediately from the completion of the construction, on the assumption that I have been able to achieve a sale. The sales information, property values and miscellaneous income section also needs to be changed to include the estimated value of the new townhouses. I have also added some sales costs that may be typical for the additional sales. As with the first two examples, we can analyze the results by displaying the watch window or going to the cash flow or equity growth sheet if we are holding any properties. These sheets are more helpful in analyzing the results in a situation where property is held for cash flow or growth. If all properties are sold, then the project summary sheet can be used in the same way. To complete the analysis, I am able to change the status of the renovated property to hold to see what the outcome might be, and it will be displayed in the watch window. I am also able to change the status of one of the new townhouses to hold at the same time. As I select each option, the GST and interest charges are all recalculated, as well as the income and expenses are modified to reflect each new scenario. Once I have established the best option by changing the status of any combination of the lots to hold, I can investigate further by checking the detailed analysis on the cash flow and equity growth sheets or the project summary sheet. This has been an example of a much more complex real estate project and should give you a reasonable understanding of how the program can be used for any number of different projects and investment strategies. The next example is just to describe the two sections that we have ignored so far, the affordability and project assessment sections.